Hey, for lifers, you didn't think I was gonna miss this week, did you? Here, let me try to get this camera kind of centered here. Yeah, well, we'll do it with this. So we're gonna make this week complete with a quick episode or review of Transformers Legacy Transmetal to Megatron from one of my favorite series of all time from the Transformers universe, which is Beast Wars. Transmetal to Megatron being the second version of the Transmetal, even though the first one was kind of like the roller skating dino. But here we have the Dragon Megatron. From the packaging here, you can see all, again, the kind of weird colors that they've had with this line, with the kind of spray painty kind of graffiti type of look. But it still looks very cool. So it is from the Hasbro. It is the leader class. On the side here, more of the same imagery is Dragon Head. On this side, just the other characters that we got with all of this. Hey, Shirokuro, where are my drag? That doesn't make sense. Hail for lifers. Yeah, hate the Titan. And then on the back here is where we get to see Megatron in his two modes and his one accessory, which is a club slash um, blast effect fire. I don't know how you hold fire, but he's Megatron. He can do whatever he wants. Hey, John Ed, how's it going? So we're going to go ahead and open this guy up. So the new leader class price point, if you guys don't know, is for a while it's been $55 US or $54.99 US if you want to be technical. He does come with an instruction manual, which is very, very large. I think unnecessarily large, given that he's not that complicated to transform. As you can see here at the very top, they want to illustrate that this blast effect can be also a club, which will show off in a bit. He comes packaged like so. You just need to get his kind of ponytail, dragon tail out. I guess it's not a ponytail, it's a dragon tail out there from his head. And then you get the flaming club. Nothing you need to do to get him into any kind of mode. He's in robot mode. A couple things to note right out of the box, though. There are things that on this figure that could have done another QC pass or engineering pass. For example, this backpack here is supposed to plug in. You have this tab here in this slot, and it's supposed to plug in. But if you plug that in, his neck pops up, and if you pull the neck down, this pops back up. This seems to be a mold issue. I've asked a couple of people and they said that's just the way it is. I've tried forcing it. I've tried doing all sorts of tricks. If there's a way that you got yours to actually plug in and not sit out at an angle, please let me know. It does look a little weird, to be perfectly honest, to have this really big dragon chest on the back, but he makes up for it in a lot of other ways. So I still very much like this figure. Just a spoiler alert here. He has a whole bunch of wingies. And they're that kind of weird soft plastic. I don't even know where we might have seen this kind of plastic before in a Transformers figure. That said, he looks phenomenal. Very cool. He has the red and purple, which is iconic for this look. He has nice metallic purple. I think they're metallic. Well, purplish eyes. He does have teeth that I don't think are really accurate. They're like jagged teeth. I don't remember him having jagged teeth. He has a cool translucent kind of helmet visor thing at the top here. This little gem there. His chest, which was much bigger, I think, in the toy. But this looks pretty accurate to the screen. I remember the original toy actually had green eyes, which was kind of weird. Hey, Ridiculous, how's it going? I just killed a fruit fly, so for Ridiculous Badgers, Paik4Life bingo, somebody just got a square there. But yeah, let's keep going. The robot mode itself, again, looks really nice. There are a couple nitpicky things, like I said, engineering pass, they could have done a little bit more. Like, for example, this chest doesn't really, like, stabilize or peg in very well to anything. It just, like, I don't even know what kind of locks it into place, to be perfectly honest. That would be nice. You'll see his crotch, which he has a transformation joint and has a split in the middle. That always kind of opens up, so he has kind of a, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into what I think it kind of looks like, but Yeah, and then the backpack here. But otherwise, he looks great. He has really nice paint work going on that's kind of faded here. The purple on the arms, the details on the wings here. They're molded. They are different. They have like 5 different types of molding, I think, or maybe these two are the same. No, are these two the same? No, not even these two aren't the same. So, um, very cool deco. They have like the texture of the scales everywhere. So really highly detailed. So for a leader class figure, I think this is well worth the money. He feels he's pretty solid. He's pretty heavy. Let's see. Really quickly before I do other things, let's do a comparison with my favorite figure from the Legacy line, at least from the Beast Wars side, Inferno. You know, he didn't make it this far into the series, so they never interacted. But yeah, he looks very cool. Look and see how big he is. Compared to, let's say, this figure, which I just reviewed from Mastermind Creations. I was intending to do a alt mode comparison with his dragon and his vulture kind of thing. Here's another figure. I was actually thinking about doing this review, but I had this Transmetal Megatron in the backlog for so long, and I wanted to do him. But here he is next to a Voyager class, which looks like actually kind of a bigger deluxe class game version of. Oh, thank you, Fans Toys Springer Cup. All right, we'll do comparisons at the end here. But yeah, there you go. As I said, he does only come with this one, although it's nicely detailed flame effect, which is also doubles as a club, so you can just plug this in and beat burn people to death. Roar. All right, let's go through some articulation, which he does have a decent amount of. So we'll start with the head and all the segments. These are the tail segments. They're like ball pegs on all of these sections here. There's actually no articulation in this like tail claw thing, but he can twist and turn in all these sections here, which is nice. He has a nice little braid. He has a hinge at the top, which I don't think is a ball peg. I think it's just a hinge. He can look left and right. If it weren't for the wings, and if you got over these, you can spin all the way around. He doesn't have any up or down unless you like unpeg the neck, which again, I don't really like how this is held into place. It's very loose. He doesn't have any mouth articulation. His wings, I guess we'll do his wings, have a big hinge back here, and then all these 5 wing segments rotate right there. His little wing tip thingy, I don't even know what you would call this thing, can go about this far and down this far. Hey, Richard Hernandez. Inferno survived all the way to the last. Oh, really? Oh, who was I thinking that died very early? Was it Scorponok? I thought Inferno died earlier. My mistake. My mistake. Thanks for the correction. All right, where else are we? All right. Now I'm off track here. All right, for his shoulders, they are ratcheted, which is nice. Very softly ratcheted. They go out to the side here. He doesn't have a swivel up there, but again, he does have some articulation, and since they're ball peg, they can swivel around each of these segments. I think they can go 360 actually, but it's a little tight. I might not force it 360, but it can rotate around so he can curl his arms. So he doesn't have obviously a traditional arm here on his left one, but he can get quite a big turn here, turn radius. His dragon head is also nicely sculpted. You can open his mouth wide, and then you can put the blast effect in there. I don't know if you're supposed to use that as a club when he's in robot mode and in both hands, or if he's supposed to use it as fire in this hand and a club just in the right hand. I'm not sure how that lore works. His waist is also ratcheted, which is interesting. I would not have expected a waist ratchet from a mainline figure, to be perfectly honest. Oh, and I forgot this arm. This arm is basically the same thing, except he has a traditional arm, rotate at the bicep. He has double jointed elbows, which is nice. He doesn't have any wrist articulation, really. This is a transformation joint and no swivel there. No ab crunch, but I honestly don't expect that from mainline figures. So you can see how what I'm talking about, this doesn't lock really well into place. Um, this is supposed to be tabbed down. Sorry, but uh, that's why I said this thing should have a little bit more engineering done, because it just doesn't lock into place. So like this is supposed to lock in with these tabs, but it doesn't work all that well. You can see there's a little rectangle here, and it's supposed to sit a little bit more forward to help lock that into place. But for some reason, it just doesn't work for me. And again, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but it just doesn't work. See that little rectangle way down in here? It's supposed to go in here, but there, that worked a little bit better. But again, it just doesn't work all that well. All right, let's see, where else were we? Oh, so legs. He has ratchet leg joints going forward and back, friction out to the side, more than 90 degrees. He has a knee swivel here, and then a very deep knee bend, which is nice. He also has the kind of this weird mid shin bend. It's for his his alt mode transformation, but you can use it. Only goes forward. And then he has an ankle, which is also ratcheted, can point down, can point up, and then ankle tilt, both outwards and inwards. So very nice amount of articulation for a mainline figure for sure. All right. We've already did comparisons. Am I missing anything? No, I don't think so. All right. We'd already did accessories as well because he only has the one. So we'll get in transformation, which is a very cool transformation. I do like it. It's probably one of my favorite things about this figure. So the first thing we'll do is come to the back, and if somehow you were able to tab this in, you would untab this. You would kind of bring this chest forward. You'd lift this up to release this tab here, release these tabs, just extend this out. While we're here, because I always tend to forget, his neck's also on the slider, so you want to slide that back, like so. All right, we'll just let that hang out for now. Then in the chest, you can pull out the little mini kind of like dragon slash T-Rex mini arms here. And extend those around. This arm will bend using those double jointed elbows and then tab in here. This will flip down, and then you're going to open up these oblique sections. That'll give you a bit of room so that you can fold in this panel where the arm and shoulder are, and then you'll see that there's a tab on the inside of the forearm that goes into the back. Oops, sorry. Forgot you got to make room for this fist by opening this up. So do that, and then you can close this up to cover up the fist. With that done, you're going to rotate this entire mechanism back here, which is pretty cool. Rotate this around. Then you can close up the sides again, and then you're going to want to push the chest in, but these tabs on the inside here will go into this. They're kind of hard to secure because there's nothing supporting them inwards really. So like you can push, but that basically pushes this panel in. You might want to push something behind here, but it holds the spine. You want to rotate the neck, base of the neck there, and then there's a couple of tabs here which are supposed to align to the top of his chest. You can see these little notches here. Again, it doesn't really work that well. It doesn't like lock into place. So again, another area where they should have done some bit of better engineering there. So that's the top done. If you want a Gearwalkish, I guess, kind of mode for dragon head, regular legs, Megatron. Now coming to the bottom, we'll transform the legs first. So you just basically want to chicken leg his legs. So this joint that we mentioned before, bring that down, bend all the way at the knee here, and then you can kind of spread these out. Bring this forward. You haven't bought any mainline over a year? I don't buy a whole lot, but I guess I do buy more than you might expect me to. All right, so this is where his little crotch area that splits, you're going to split that out like so. Then this piece that we had done with the head before. We're going to rotate this down. This tab's in here. And again, make sure that the head is pushed back on that slider because this is going to fold down. And if you don't push back, you'll see his face will run into, or at least his helmet will run into this gold piece here. So you don't want that. And then you'll see this peg and tab that correspond to the inside of the crotch for both sides. So just try to get these aligned. Tabbed in, and then that weird chest piece that was hanging off the back, you're just going to want to fold this up, and there's 2 tabs up here that tab in like so. Oh, sorry, I missed somebody else's donation. Let me make sure I give a shout out. So I saw Ridiculous Badgers, and then Prince of Phalanx, thanks for the 99 cents as well. And then that's it. You got your Transmetal 2 Megatron in his alt mode. Oh, give me a second real quick. So yeah, that's his alt mode. Again, you can splay out his wings however you want. You can fold them out or fold them back. But he looks quite nice here. A couple of minor things are that because of his fairly well toleranced legs, at least on mine, you can see if I try to articulate them, these tabs don't hold on that well. Also, there's no tabs on the kind of the back side that lock this into place a little bit better. So that's one downside. Again, another engineering pass if they had done something a little bit better on that. But he looks really awesome in this mode. We've had a couple of third-party Transmetal 2 Megatrons. I don't own any of those, but this one is quite nice at $55. There's a little bit of hollowness or like gappiness that shows into the main body. You can even see his hand here. This part covers the front here, but not really the whole hand, which you can see there. But they're kind of minor gripes. And again, for a mainline figure, I don't really care too much. You can even see inside and see his helmet here in the butt area. But he looks very cool. Articulation-wise, nothing different really here since we already talked about the neck as part of his arm before. He can open his mouth. We talked about that. But it can be quite expressive just because he has so much motion here. And it is tightly toleranced. The tail, I guess we didn't talk in depth about as his ponytail in robot mode. But again, same type of articulation with each segment having a ball peg here. You do even have some additional details. Usually in stuff like this where it's very hidden and so forth, they don't do a lot of details, but there's a lot of surface details here, a lot of mechanical wiring, stuff like that. So while the mainline tend to have shrunk over the years, I think they have upped the overall quality a lot in terms of just things like that, these small details that you see. Not a lot of hollowness in this figure, which is great. That's something that has been very much known for. Not a lot of waffling. There are some, but definitely not huge gaps that sometimes we've seen. The only new articulation I think we got are these little dino arms or dragon arms, which were hidden before. He can rotate all the way around here, swivel around. He has a mushroom peg for a bicep, single jointed elbow, and then his little dragon hands actually have wrist articulation, unlike his robot mode. And then he can even do a wave. So he has wrist tilt as well for his golden claws. And again, with the accessory here, this time he should make it actually fire instead of a club, as you saw in the thumbnail. So he can breathe fire, fire, fire. I don't have any dragons to compare him to, but I will bring out Inferno. Where is my Primal? I don't know where my Primal is. I do have an original Transmetal 2 Optimus Transmetal 1 Primal. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, here he is. Hold on. Sorry, my lighting is going to get a little bit weird for a second because my lights actually block some of my cabinets here. So here's a original Transmetal Primal. Do I have anything else? I don't know where my Voyager Primal is from this line, but anyway, you get the idea. He looks quite nice. He's quite big. Let's get rid of these guys. All right. Let's see. Do we have? Oh, I didn't do a Q&A this time, but oh, I did put a live poll to see if you prefer your Megatron as a dragon or as a gun. I'm on Team Dragon because I never understood him as being a gun. All right, let's get rid of that here. Is there any other articulation that I need to talk about? I don't think so. I mean, this all is basically the same. They make use of a lot of his robot mode. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode and then finish off with the donation comparison. So let's go. So we'll just straighten out his legs real quick. That's the easiest part of the transformation. So we'll just straighten these out. We can do that at any time, really. Bring them down. You're going to split the crotch. You're going to unpeg the chest. You're going to bring this up, untab here. And then we'll just go ahead and bring this crotch back together. So bring these up on these double hinges. Tab these in. And then you kind of have to push up a bit. Again, the downside of this is that mine always has a bit of a split here, right in his crotch, which isn't particularly manly, but it's okay. He's a robot. All right, let's go into his dragon mode. Just lift this up. Pull out on the arms, because those do tab into these kind of oblique flaps. Just pull out a little bit, bring this down. We'll go ahead and bring these obliques down. Transform or rotate at the mechanism here. Unpeg the arms, or the one arm here. Bring them down and straighten it out. Then fold this in. At this point, you're going to fold in these panels where the tiny dragon arms are. You're going to bend at the elbows, like so. And then you're going to want to tilt these gold pieces like that. And then use the wrist articulation to come around here. They do have a small tab on the middle finger that goes into the same tab that the dragon chest tabbed into. So once you have that done, you're pretty much golden. We'll fold up these oblique sections and fold up the chest. And then we just have to deal with the whole dino head, ponytail, and robot mode head. So we're going to use these multi-segments here. We're going to fold this up. There's a tab on the underside here that goes there. And then when you come in and push this down, just make sure that you get that tab over this section here and get it down. Then get these rectangular sections tabbed in, and then you can push the chest in. Again, ideally, if something wasn't wrong with yours, and again, I think this is just a general mold issue, you should be able to peg in this backpack. But once you do that, that pops up, and that's not what you want. So, unfortunately, that just doesn't work. Oh, and then I forgot you need to scooch the neck forward to get his head positioned a bit towards the front. And with that, we have our, I guess officially you're supposed to fold these up, I think, and come to the back here with like those. But everybody wants, and if you have wings, you want to show them off in whichever mode you have. So Megatron will show them off like so, like a peacock of some sort. And that's it. So my final thoughts are, I really like this figure. I've had him for a while, and I've been meaning to review him, but I keep pushing it off, and work has been brutal for me over the last couple of weeks, and will probably continue to be so. So I wanted to make sure I got a review in, and he seemed like an apt candidate to be able to do one as a late night review on Saturday, so I don't miss my resolution. All right, did Paik get his Red Wings? What are Red Wings? Let me make sure to get the Springer out to do the comparison Oh, I got looks like another donation. Bingo. Prince of Hailing says $2 bingo. What did I say? What did I say? There are a bunch of things. Did we get a streak? No streak comparison. I didn't. No, Titan. Thanks for keeping me honest. I usually do that in alt mode, but I guess we have to do it in robot mode. He's about 1.25 streaks tall. Yeah, man, I've been off my game. Sorry, I've been working like 60-hour weeks plus, which is a lot for me. I think I worked like 50 some odd hours this week, and one of the days, on Monday, I was off. I was in Chicago, so that just goes to show you how much I've been working. If I got work like 50 plus hours in a 4-day week. All right, so let me go ahead and get the Springer for comparison, and we'll let you all go this nice Saturday evening. It also seems like when it rains, it pours, in the sense that even though I've been super busy this week, my daughter had strep, and then now I feel like I'm getting strep. So I don't know. I wish things were a little bit easier for me this week. And then there was the whole government shutdown thing. I'm a government contractor, so there was concerns about that, but no concerns anymore. If you guys do work for the government or pay attention to the news, they did do a 45-day continuing resolution for government work. So unfortunately, I'll have to be at work on Monday. Yeah, they did, Shiro. Yeah, I was just mentioning that. Actually, my program would have been probably fine anyway, but yeah, there you go. Here's the Springer comparison. If it's not Anthony, it's somebody else. Yep. I still love the look of this Springer. Every time I look at him and every time I hold him, I'm just like, this is probably the best Ocular Max like has done for a masterpiece figure, I think. Like his thighs are super cool, die cast, like physically cool. They're actually cold. And I think he just looks the best in robot mode. He has that kind of bodybuilder look. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Admiring my Springer. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're just kicking the can down the line, 45 days. So 45 days will bring us, what, right around Thanksgiving? So, all right. So I think that's it for today, everyone. Princeton, you did donate like $3. So if there was any kind of question or comparison that you wanted, let me know before we sign off. But otherwise, thanks for joining me on this lovely Saturday evening. Yeah, so enjoy the end of the government fiscal year. It's also the end of my company's fiscal year, so we had a nice little picnic today. So I've been very busy today. Just got home around 9 o'clock, which is why I'm doing a late review. But yeah, he's good. I recommend you get him, whether it's from Toy Dojo, my sponsor, or from Hasbro Pulse. I think they still have them. For a while, he was a little bit harder to find, but I think he's readily available now, which is great. Unlike some other figures that sometimes never show up. Just supporting a government employee. Saying, well, I'm a government contractor, so I work for a company that does government work. I don't actually wear a blue badge as they call it. But yeah, that's it, everyone. Hope you have a great Saturday. We'll be back next week. I'm gonna try again. This week's probably gonna be brutal for me too, but I do want to get back with Jeopardy, the second episode, and then more reviews. So we're gonna continue on until the end of the year. We're so close to the end of the year now. Well, we got 1 quarter left. So my New Year's resolution for 1 video a week at least is intact with this. All right, everyone. Hope you have a good one, and then we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot for lifers. Bye.